Hey everyone, today we're getting ready to go out to the movies and we're going to be trying some new products. Ignore the pimple sticker. It's going to be there for the first bit of the video until I put my makeup on, just because I want to make sure it's absorbed as much pus as possible before I put makeup on it. I've had this curling iron for maybe a year and a half or two. I got it from Costco and it's actually so good. As you can see, it goes up to like 410 degrees there. But I turn it normally to 390. Some people will say that's too hot, but like my hair is like thick. It requires a lot for it to curl. If I sound sick, it's because I am, because I'm always sick now. So we're gonna be trying out some products that I hauled. I got this Kosas Cloud Set Powder, and we're gonna be trying this out. I normally use like a Charlotte Tilbury or my Laura Mercier. And also this highlight, which I've had for a bit, but I haven't used it either. It's the Rare Beauty Silk Touch Highlight. This is in the color Exhilarate. So I'm pretty excited to try that. And then we're also gonna be trying out a new blush, but I'm gonna be doing a short form review of that one on like another video platform. So you guys can get like a condensed version of that blush, and then we will review it at the end. Oh my god. My brain's all over the place. I should be resting, but I also kind of want to film a video. So I just finished my skincare. Like I said, we're just waiting for my curling iron to heat up. Alright, so I finished doing my hair. Now we're gonna do my eyes first and then my face. I always do my eyes first just in case there's any fallout from any of the products that I use. Sometimes, depending on what I'm doing, I do put on eye primer, but today I feel like my look is so basic that I don't really need to. So I'll normally take a brush and I'll dip it into my bronzer, and then I just put that color into my crease, just so that it gives us a little bit of depth, so that my eyelids don't look so flat. It looks like there's more dimension to them. Same thing with the other side. There we go. I think that's good enough. And I might just drag it on the lower lash line too, but that's after I do everything else. But since I'm already here, might as well just do a little bit. I have a couple of these. These are a Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Memorize, and these things are pretty much my saving grace when it comes to doing eyeshadow, because I really don't have to think about it. I just kind of put this all over my lid, and then I just use my fingers to apply it all over my eyelids. I always start off with a little bit and add more if need be. This is kind of like my go-to eyeshadow look because it's just so easy to do. And then I usually put like a glitter of sorts on it. This is the Patrick Ta Major Dimensions 2 palette. This one has been one of my favorites right here. So I just take it with my ring finger, just a little pat on top. I usually put it right at the center, but sometimes I diffuse it out to each corner of the eye. And then also, when I use these palettes, I use a liner brush of sorts, or a smudger brush, like that. And I grab this darker color right here, and I just use that to line my lower lash line, up until like this fold in my eye right here. This is the one I've been using for a while. This is the Sephora eyeliner. It's okay, but it's affordable, which is why I always go back to it, because I go through eyeliners so quickly. If it works and it's not super expensive, then it's not the end of the world. I've seen better eyeliners out there, but honestly, like I said, I go through them so quickly that it just doesn't make sense to spend like $40 on eyeliner at a time. So I usually put on eyeliner before eyeshadow, but since I was filming and my mind just went away, I forgot to, so now it's gonna be harder to perfect the eyeliner when there's already eye makeup on. I actually bought a refill of my Blinc tubing mascara. I do like, I think, how it looks like, but I just didn't like removing it. But today we're opening a new one and we're gonna be using it, so let's see how this goes. I just curled my lashes and I finished my eyeliner. That's how the wand looks like. Wow, there's so many surfaces that has to bounce. I really like wands that taper like this, so it makes it easier for me to get into my inner corners. So that's after one coat on this eye. Nothing on this eye. So that's 2 coats on the upper lash, 1 coat on lower lash, and nothing on this eye. See the difference? I feel like you can see a bit of a difference. Now I'm gonna do my other eye. Alright, so I've cleaned up around my eyes. I've brushed through my eyelashes, the little eye brush comb, and I just finished washing my hands, so we're now gonna start off with face makeup. This is the Milk Makeup Bronzer Bionic Shapeshift color is. I think it was Tantor or something like that. And although this formula separates, I still use it because I'm trying to use as much of it as I can before I switch over to my Wander Beauty foundation stick to contour. I know you're not supposed to use like a bronzer to contour, but I personally don't like how contour looks because it's so cool toned on my skin that I don't want to look like a skeleton when I go outside. So I like the warmth that the bronzer gives a little bit more. And it's not like I use a lot of contour, to be honest with all of you, so it's just like a warmth on the outer rims of my face. And any breakouts I have, I'll probably just cover up at the end with concealer and blend it all in together. I also just washed this beauty blender as well. You should always wash your beauty blender before you use it so that you don't have bacteria accumulating on your face. And I usually don't contour my jaw because I feel like my jaw is already like accentuated enough, so I don't feel like bringing more attention to it. But I do contour the sides of my nose. Just when I put powder on my face, my nose tends to disappear and flatten, so I just put a little bit on the top, draw a line down the side of my nose up to my eyebrow. I blend it all out. I don't look for a harsh contour or anything like that. I just want there to still be shape on my face after I powder it. There we go. That's all we do with bronzer. I keep a cotton pad off to the side just to wipe off any excess from my hand. I'm gonna be reviewing this blush on other short form content, so you guys can check that out to see how it's like, but for now we won't put it on. That's pretty much my base, and actually I'm gonna use the powder, pillowy powder, and we'll see how it works, how it looks like. And I just used this foundation brush slash powder foundation brush. I've had it for so long that the name's wiped off of it, but this is a Marc Jacobs brush. They used to have it at Sephora when they had his foundation line, which was so long ago. Just use a little bit of it, set the bronzer and the outer parts of my face. And I usually apply it pretty heavily on my T-zone because that's where I always get shiny by the end of the day. So I just tried to ensure that doesn't happen. I don't wear foundation, if you haven't seen that in the video. I sometimes put on concealer if I have breakouts, but if I don't care too much about them, I don't, because I feel like less makeup on any breakouts is better. I thought the finish was going to be so much more sparkly. I think it's nice. We'll see how it wears. I'll do a check-in with all of you at the end of the day, but bear with me. I have like combo skin, so it's dry everywhere else, but then at my T-zone it's oily, or it breaks down product a lot faster. I'll see you guys all in a bit. I got to show all of you how I do my hair. So this is third day hair that I've curled now, and I just used the Living Proof Perfect Hair Day Advanced Clean Dry Shampoo. It's actually my favorite one out of all the dry shampoos I've used. Maybe this one's out. I'm gonna pick up another one now. This one is Dry Volume and Texture Spray. Well, that's not dry shampoo, but it'll have to do. Go. I think that's good enough. We're gonna put on all our earrings. I love having so many earrings. That was like my first thing I did when I turned 8. I got my ears pierced again. I used to have my ears pierced as a baby, but when I turned 8, I got my first piercings. And they're a little bit close, I'm not gonna lie. They're a little close to my head, and I have been told that by other like professional piercers, but you know, it's now a little too late to fix where they're positioned, so I just kind of deal with it. Like if you look at this one, you can see how close it is to my face. This one's a little bit better spaced. And then second hole I actually got pierced when I was like 14. I think I went to Claire's at the mall and I just got them pierced as I wanted doubles. When I was 16, I actually got, I think I got my third piercings, maybe? Yeah, my third piercings when I was 16. And then as soon as I was able to drive without an adult, which in BC is when I have my N. So as soon as I was able to drive without an adult accompanying me, my friend and I, my fourth hole pierced. I was scared that was too close to my cartilage over here, and if you pierce your cartilage wrong, it can collapse, and I was like terrified of that happening. So I went to like a professional piercer for my fourth piercings just because they were so close to my cartilage. And I don't know if it was the same year, but that's when I also got my cartilage piercing up here, which I've had on forever and I never take off because it always gets infected. Like I could sleep wrong at night, it'll get infected. I literally just don't touch it. I haven't changed it since I got it like 10 years ago. And if I were to take it off, I'm sure it would close almost immediately, so I just cannot be bothered to even risk that. When I was like 19, I had a nose piercing maybe for like 2 to 3 years, and I never got like a ring or anything like that. I always looked for a ring. I couldn't find one dainty enough, and I did really want like a little dainty nose ring here, but it ended up not working out, and I was getting annoyed by like the stud that I had in, so one day I just decided to take it out. And then I think I got my belly button pierced around the same time I did my 4th piercing too. So I got it done when I was probably like 18. I remember my mom came home when she saw it one day, because I used to just wear sports bras to bed, and she saw it one day and she's like, why'd you do that? I'm like, well, I can remove it, worst case scenario. Same thing with my nose ring. Like, it was on this side. If anything, where the nose ring was, it just looks like an enlarged pore. But I figured that if I didn't want that enlarged pore look forever, that I would just remove it sooner than later, just to give it the chance to heal up and all that stuff. So yeah, I hope that was even remotely interesting for you to learn about all my piercings. I have tattoos too, but that's a story for another day. Okay, so I'm back from doing the little first part of their blush review with the highlight, and it's so pretty. I built it up a little bit. I put a little bit of the Rare Beauty highlight. Let me just give all of you like a close-up as to how these products look like. So this one is the Rare Beauty one. This is in the color Exhilarate. It's so freaking pretty. And I love the finish on it. Isn't like too sparkly, because I have quite a few sparkly highlights, seeing as how I started doing makeup in like 2013, and that's when blinging highlight was like really what everyone was looking for. And this is in the color Earthy Pink. This was the blush, and it's so pretty. Like, honestly, if you had to choose between the Charlotte Tilbury or the Makeup by Mario blush, I actually go for the Makeup by Mario blush. I feel like you get way more use out of it. There's way more product. For both, a little goes a long way, but I feel like this one builds so beautifully, and it's a lot easier to blend as well. Anyways, let me go on with the rest of my day, and I'll see all you guys later. All right, so I just got back to my apartment. I went to see Ant-Man, and it was like okay, and then we went to the mall so that I could pick up these 2 mascaras that I'm probably going to be reviewing next week, if not starting tomorrow. This is the Tower 28 Make Waves mascara, and this is the Merit mascara, tubing mascara. Today I used the Blinc makeup mascara that you all saw earlier, but as you can see, when we look up close here, it feels like it flaked a little bit on my face, which I don't necessarily love. And in terms of the Kosas powder, I do like the finish. It looks very natural on my skin, but sometimes I prefer it to be a little bit more matte. Right now it looks very skin, it's giving very glow from within, which looks healthy. Like, my skin looks healthy, but sometimes I prefer things that are more matte, which means like I layer on my translucent powder. Today, like you all saw, we just used the Kosas powder, and I think it did pretty well actually. Like, in certain lights it looked like I was really shiny, but now I'm back in my bathroom mirror and it looks really natural. You can see the highlight and the blush that I tried. I actually like how my makeup wore for the most part of the day. There's a little bit of flake from the mascara, but I already knew this mascara wasn't going to be like my favorite forever. But I also didn't know it flaked as much as it did, because if you see my cheeks right here, there's quite a bit of flaking. Same thing with this cheek. Don't love that. And then after I got back here, we went and got dinner, and that was a mess in of itself, because one of the patrons who was next to us was extremely intoxicated, and like, they were trying to pay and the servers were trying to help them out, but it took them like an hour for them to gather themselves and eventually leave the restaurant, on the threats of them possibly getting banned from there. But anyways, I hope that you liked this little get ready with me / mini review of the products today, and I'll see you all in the next one. Also, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you do. You don't have to if you don't, but I do really appreciate it. And don't forget to follow me on my other socials, and I'll see you all there. Bye! Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me